start this video, I want to explain a very important thing. We are told that we are made in the image of God. What does that mean? Does it mean that we are different? The whites, the blacks, the Chinese, the Koreans? That is not the difference. God image means you have a body, you have a soul, and you have a spirit. Don't forget that. Because these transgenders, they are changing how we are made. They are changing our body. But let me first explain what the various parts consist. Let's start with the body which you have. The body relates to the world experiences and environment. Okay? It involves consciousness like sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. And the body is one which you can see, okay, which you know. And the body dies. Okay? God also has a body, and his body is called Jesus. Okay? Who you see. God also has a spirit. Okay? And he has a soul. Anyway, but the soul, because we are made in the image of God, the soul and spirit they are attached together. They can never leave each other. They can never be split. Your soul and your spirit can never be split. Okay? And they never die. But when you die, your body dies. But your spirit takes you back to the one who gave you the spirit, that is God. So when you die, you don't even stay here, even 2 seconds. You're already gone. Okay? Then let's look at the soul. The soul relates to others. Okay? It involves self-consciousness, like mind, your will, and your emotions. Okay? Your soul can be found in your blood. Okay? And your soul can be seen through your eyes. That's why you can meet somebody who you don't know. But when you look at his eyes, you can just instantly be afraid of him because of the things he has done. So your soul, whatever you do, your soul, someone can see it through your eyes. They can tell what kind of a person through your eyes. If you are a killer, someone will look at you and a chill will go through him or her. Okay? Your soul is your blood. And that's why when you're selling your soul, you sign with your blood. Blood is very interesting because when you sell your soul and you want to be famous, you want to be rich, you want to be recognized by other people, you are asked to sacrifice one of your own people, your family members, your children. Why is that so? Because the demons, they want 2 things. First, they want them to appease them with that blood. Okay? That's the first reason. The second reason is that they want that blood which you sacrifice to speak against you. Because that's the soul of somebody you have taken. They speak to God about you, what you did to them. Okay? And then we go to the spirit. Your spirit is found in your heart. This relates to God. It involves consciousness, okay? Which include awareness, sensitivity, understanding, and motivation. Okay? And actually we think by our spirit. Okay? But the mind interprets what the spirit says. Do you understand? But your soul and spirit are inseparable. You can't separate your soul and spirit. It's impossible. You should understand something. Once you sell your soul, you have given permission to Satan and his minions to be able to occupy your body too. So that involves that, so your body will be holding your soul, your spirit, and a demon or something attached to it. But when the demon takes over the body, you are kind of hidden in that inside the body. You are not even conscious. Okay? That's why Jesus was saying, my father has many mansions, and he has gone to make us mansions. Mansions is our houses where we are going to live. So when you die, you're going to occupy another body, because your body already is dead, to be buried here. But you'll get another body, another house. So what happens is, like the politicians, the musicians, when they sell their souls, a demon comes inside the body, it performs, it is just like you hear someone like Lil Wayne is saying Tunichi. He's calling himself Lil Tunichi. That Tunichi is a demon. It's the one which is performing. It's the one which is rapping. When it's rapping, Lil Wayne is not even, he's just inside the body, but he's not conscious. So he doesn't remember even what happened. The same case applies to people like Mariah Carey, Mimi. She calls that entity Mimi. That's also a demon. You go to someone like Beyonce, she calls it Sasha Fierce. That's a demon. These people, they allow these demons to come into their body, but they're the ones which entertain us. I'm telling you people, currently we are being entertained by demons. All the movies you see, they are demons. And do you know how that happens? It's because they sell their souls. When they sell their souls and they use witchcraft, these demons come in, they make them to be politicians, but the ones who's pushing the agenda is not the person. The person is inside the body. The demon is the one which is pushing the registration along. It's the one which is reading news. The demon is the one which is entertaining. It's the one which is rapping. The demon is the one which is acting. In other words, they don't call them demons, they call them muses. A muse is also a demon, okay? Otherwise, your spirit is connected to your soul completely. They cannot be separated. But your body and the spirit and the soul, they are connected to your body by a silver string. A silver string is the one which connects the spirit and the spirit, the soul, the spirit and the soul to the body. So when you die, that silver string is cut. Okay? That's why you hear these people who get out of their bodies through astral projections. When they look behind them to their body, they see a string, a silver string. That is the one which is attaching your soul and spirit to your body. But once it is cut, your spirit and soul goes very fast. Speed of light to your maker. So you guys should be very careful. I just wanted you to know that. Then I wanted to let you know about the classes of angels. An angel is a messenger. Okay, that's the meaning. But actually, when we are born, everybody is assigned a guardian angel by Jesus to take care of you, to intercede for you. Wherever you go, you have a guardian angel. Okay? It doesn't matter that from when you are a child, even when you are an adult, you still have a guardian angel. Okay? They protect you from these other fallen entities. Okay? Which may want to interfere with your will. So nothing can happen to you when you don't will it or allow it. Like now you find that in Hollywood, in politics right now, you find it's witches. Everybody is a witch. High-class witches. High-class witch, wizards, warlocks. Those ones have given permission to Satan, so their bodies can be occupied. So when you see something happen in United Nations, where meetings of presidents, it's not meeting of presidents, it's meeting of demons. Okay? That's why everything is moving so fast and so efficiently. Okay? Anyway, let's continue. Then there is an archangel. An archangel is a ruler. Okay? It's just like the way you can say an archbishop. An archbishop is a ruler of bishops. The same way with an archangel. An archdeacon is a ruler of deacons. Okay? It's good to know that. Then there's another class of angels called the cherubim. Cherubim means fullness of wisdom. Okay? They have human form. Don't forget that, okay? And they have 4 faces. And they have 4 wings. They have a face of a man. On the right side, they have a face of a lion. On the left side, they have a face of an ox. And finally, on the other side, they have the face of an eagle. Don't forget this. Satan or Lucifer. You know, people don't understand Satan and Lucifer. Lucifer was the name when he was in heaven. He's a cherub, okay? And he's anointed by God. So no other higher classes of angels can be able to touch him without will of God, okay? And another thing about cherubs. Satan, okay, first of all, Lucifer, the name of Lucifer means son of the morning, okay? That is his name. The name is Lucifer before he fell, and his office was son of the morning. But when he fell, he became a demon, and his name became Satan, or your enemy, or adversary. Never forget, Satan is your enemy. He'll never be your father. And the fallen angels, they are our enemies, totally. Okay? Then we have the other class, seraphim. Seraphim, they have 6 wings. Okay? They are called the fiery ones. Fiery ones, okay? Yeah. They have 2 wings. They have 2 wings which cover their face, not to see God's glory. Then they use the other 2 for flying. And the third, the last 2, to make 6 wings, they cover their feet. So that, because their feet looks like a calf's feet or a cow's feet. And they cover them because when God sees that, he'll be angry because he'll remember what Israelites did in the desert. They made themselves a golden calf. So they cover them to hide so that God cannot remember. Okay? And the seraphim, they worship God continually. They are like, holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. That's what they say continually. And they are like fiery snakes. They are fiery. They never get out of the seats of God. Okay, there are some who fail with Satan, but they never get out of near the seat of God. Only once did they do that. When the Israelites were in the desert, what they did is that they start saying, we need to go back to Egypt. We are hungry here. It's better we go back. Why did we get out of Egypt? So God sent fire snakes, and they were biting Israelites. And Moses, God told Moses, because some were dying, they start crying to God, why are you killing us? So God told Moses to make a silver snake and put on a stake, that if anybody who is bitten looks at the snake, looks up, No, you understand that looking up at the silver snake, they were healed. That was preparation, God preparation for Jesus. When Jesus comes to take away our sins, he was to be put up on a cross, crucified, for, so that anybody who will look on on the cross will be healed and will be saved. Anyway, let me continue. Then there's another class of angels called the Ophanim. The Ophanim are known for wisdom, and they guard God's throne in heaven. God's throne is set on wheels, and the Ophanim, they guard God's seat. Okay? The Roman Empire actually never collapsed, you know. It just changed its name and became the Vatican. The Caesar of the Roman Empire changed its name to be the Pope. Now, do you know there are two black popes? What happened is that there was this group of people who used to be called the Alumin Brothers. They decided that they'll be protecting the Pope. They were the Khazars, you know. Now these guys who are called the Khazars, who are ruthless, you know, they decided to protect the Pope. They call them today. The Khazars are called the Jesuits or the Society of Jesus. Before, they were called the Knight Templars. They just keep changing their names, but they're the same ones. Over time, they were protecting the Pope, and they have their, actually the Society of Jesus have their own Pope, the Black Pope, you know. They were protecting the Pope, the Vatican Pope, but over time, they became more stronger and more powerful than the White Pope. So now, when there is this thing they call the confession, the Catholic Church, where you go and tell the priest all your problems or what you've done. You confess to him. Why should you confess to a person? A person who is sinful too. You shouldn't tell a person your sins because there's nothing they can do. They can't forgive him. So, who does the priest go to confess? He goes to his superior. So, the question is, who does the White Pope go to confess his sins to? He goes to the Black Pope. Because the Black Pope is actually a superior general of the Jesuits. And he doesn't joke, man. He's a military leader. You know, so the White Pope better go and talk about his confessions. Okay? You know, the problem with these people is that they worship Lucifer, who is actually Satan. And the thing is that for you to join their ranks, or they call themselves elites, you must be a witch, a top-level witch. Talk about any kind of witchcraft they know. These guys are so good that they can be able even to summon a principality, a very high caliber angel, fallen angel. They can summon them and ask them to order regular demons to follow a person, wherever he is or she is, a music CD, each copy. They can order. They do actually. When they get a master, they call on these fallen angels, and then they tell them to order demons to follow each copy, so that you take it to your house. They can order clothes, the demons to, they can tell the principality to order the demons to follow clothes made in any clothesline company. They can also ask him to order or any ornaments like bracelets made by a certain industry. But one thing you should never forget is that angels are all males. There's no female. Okay? Females are only in human beings because we die. Those spirits don't die, man. You know, they live forever. So they don't need women. Another thing to know is that the belief of these people, there's a time on earth, because earth has been destroyed twice by God. The first time, he destroyed a third of it with water. The second time, he destroyed it completely, okay, with the water in the time of Noah. And the third time, he promises to destroy the earth with fire. Now the thing is, do you understand now why this LGBT flag is a rainbow? Because God promised he will not destroy again the earth with water. So to mock him, they put up the flag to remind him that now even if they do any sins concerning this thing for lesbianism, homosexuality, these strange acts, they cannot. God promised, he said he'll never destroy them with water. They forget that God said he'll destroy that time with fire. Now, these people, the Vatican and the rest, do you know what they believe in? During the rebellion, the time of Babel, the building of Babel, that is the tower that they wanted to go and reach heaven. Yeah, some wanted to go kill God, some wanted to take their idols there to worship them. Strange people. But that time, the king of all the world, there's only has been one king who has been over the whole earth. That was Nimrod. But Nimrod, he was a hunter, and Esau was a hunter, and a better one at that. He killed Nimrod. And when Nimrod, who had married his mother, whose mother was Semiramis, when he died, Semiramis divided the body of Nimrod into 14 parts. Okay? He sent to every place whereby the empire, the whole empire, and everywhere they received a piece of Nimrod, they made a shrine where people worshipped. Because Semiramis said that Nimrod had became the sun god. So Nimrod is the sun god. Okay? And then Semiramis, one thing is that one part of Nimrod could not be found. That is his penis. It could not be found. So Semiramis made a penis of gold. Okay? And that's why you see that these guys erect this thing representing a dick. You go everywhere, you find them. You go to Rome, you find it in the center. You go to Britain, you find it in the center of Britain. When you go to US in Washington, D.C., you find it. A very tall figure, building, not building, tall figure shaped like a penis, Anyway, when Semiramis, then Semiramis automatically declared that Nimrod is the sun god, and she was the moon god, Semiramis, okay? And then because she was somehow a prostitute or some kind, she got pregnant. When people asked, she said that she was impregnated by the sun rays from Nimrod, and she conceived a son who she called Tammuz. Tammuz actually was even sleeping with the mother too. Tammuz is also called Cupid. He has so many names. The small baby who is held by the mother. Some call it Isis, Horus, Isis. There are so many names which you can check. Okay? Now, that's not the point. The point I wanted to explain is that over time, Nimrod and the wife, Semiramis and Tammuz, have been worshipped by the occult for a long time. Because Nimrod was actually helping in the building up of the occult. So when you see a child being held by the mother, believe me, that is Tammuz, the baby. It's not Jesus. Okay? Then I want to talk about Allah. Allah was a moon god. The moon. Remember, Semiramis is the moon. The female deity. Islam worships Allah, who is the moon goddess. Who's the moon god, who got married to the sun god. And they had 3 daughters. You know. So this thing has been going on from generation to generation. The same thing, the same occultic meanings. Okay? But that is not the point. It's just like these are side points for what I'm going to talk about in this video. You know? Because what is happening now is so intertwined that you can't tell unless you are able to follow clearly what is happening. Okay? Now, you should understand that these things that is happening now, these are happening now in transgender. They happened before in ancient Rome. Okay. But let's see. The ancient Roman satirist Lucian, who describes an exchange between 2 courtesans, wherein one of the women repeatedly characterized her lover as being terribly like a man. Okay? Terribly like a man. She described their frolishing romance and muses that her lover might be equipped both as a man and a woman, as many people are said to be. You see, this is the agenda they have now, whereby they want to create the androgynous, the androgen. Okay? She says that her lover claims to be born a woman, but has the mind and desires and everything else of a man. That is how even currently they brought about this play. They say that a child is born a man or a woman, but they have the mind and desires of something different. How is that even possible? But it's possible because Satan is just behind it. Okay, the interplay of sex, gender, and sexuality in Lucian's story seems to confuse modern notions of biology. This thing was there, man. You guys don't get confused. Okay, Romans were doing it, and they believe they are gods once you change your sex. And some even they used to change their sexual organs. They were said to be gods. Okay? Ancient Rome featured a myriad of what could be understood both then and now as experiences that transcended sex and gender norms. However, male-centered Roman society encouraged the marginalization and sensationalization of transfeminine expressions. So they were actually entertaining transgender expressions. This did not begin now, okay? Okay, identities and non-binary sex assignments. Do you understand that? It's now coming in, non-binary, whereby they say there's a male, there's a female, and there's a non-binary. Okay? These gender dynamics circumscribed romantic and sexual experience and constituted both political and religious performances of power. You should understand that the politicians we have, the actors we have, the celebrities we have, they are actually doing this now. They are turning themselves into transgenders, whereby you see a man who is a woman. The man has no breasts because he was a woman. The breasts are actually reduced, and then they look feminine. The thighs, there's the thigh job, there's the face show, whatever. All of them are done to him, but the man still remains with the pussy, the vagina. But the one who looks like a man actually was a woman. Now, the one who looks like a woman actually was a man. So they get these assignments of breasts, you know. Then they make them to be feminine, but they still have the penis, okay? So they can still give birth. That's what is happening. So most of the people you watch in Hollywood, the ones you see as men are women. Even politicians, the ones you see are men are women, and the ones who are women are men. And they're not paired. They're paired that way. You see a man is the one who is the woman, and the woman is the one who is the man. It's just mocking God, okay, and how He made us. So when you see when they say they are pregnant, the woman says they're pregnant. The one who's saying she is pregnant is the man, but the one who's actually carrying the baby is the woman who turned herself into be a man. He has no breast, but he has a womb, okay, and he has a vagina. So strange. These people so twisted. Okay, let's continue. The amorphousness of female same-sex sexuality in Roman society is well illustrated in the story of Iphis and Iath. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, by the Roman poet Ovid. Iphis is born female, but raised as a boy by her mother because her father wants a son. Then Iphis' parents arrange for her to marry a girl named Iath. The pair falls in love. Iphis' mother prays to the goddess Isis. It comes again. Isis, for a miracle. Her prayers are answered, and Iphis is transformed into a young man. Okay? In a juxtaposition of biological and social constructions of sexual morality, this story succeeds as one about sibling incest. These guys have incest. They have homosexuality. They have lesbianism. They have changing of gender. I had one person telling me that homosexuality is a virtue of the elite. What kind of stuff is that? What kind of statement is that? Homosexuality is a virtue? To me, it's not. Imagine you're having anal sex, and you have a woman who has a vagina. Really? What is so good with the ass? Nothing. Imagine it's gross even. Anyway, while the siblings' heterosexuality is biologically valid, their love is condemned by society. Meanwhile, Iphis and Iath's love is merely biologically incompatible. The couple's happy ending is thus achieved through divine intervention, not through subversion of Roman social morals. In contrast to the elevation in status and legitimacy granted by masculinization or female to male transsexuality, you see there's the FTM thing here. It comes again to play. It was there before, whereby a female changes to be a male. Sexual passivity and feminine presentation have long been stigmatized in the historiography. But now they'll do it because these kazas are actually homosexuals. The people we have now who are celebrities, politicians, and other whatever elite, most of them, they are sodomites. And they hide it not. Okay? For instance, the famed historian Edward Gibbon described the way Roman Emperor Elagabalus abandoned himself, but now hates herself, to the grossest of pleasures. So they know it's even grossest. There's gross, okay? And affected to copy the dress and manners of the female sex. Cross-dressing, okay? Even I'm wondering why they didn't have the surgical reassignment. In addition to depilating and wearing cosmetics, reports also claim that Elagabalus identified as a woman, referring to herself as a lady or a queen, wife, and mistress, as well as requesting to be equipped with female genitalia by her physicians. before there was not this modern female reassignment, this genital reassignments. But this guy, he wanted to be reassigned. Despite Gibbon's own antiquated social morals, as a man writing in the late 18th century, he considered that reports of Elagabalus' vices and follies may have been blackened by prejudice, such that political enemies may have taken revenge by conjuring the false image of a feminized and deviant tyrant. This thing was there, man. Right now, they're just trying to bring it back, okay? Okay, let's continue. Even their emperors were weird. They were really weird. Look at this. Various Roman emperors' feminine expressions were vilified, and their sexually transgressive behavior was often interpreted as immoral. Yeah, it was immoral even now. Nothing has changed. These queer performances and identities may also have been carefully calculated to communicate to Roman audiences the transcendent position and power of the emperor. They believed that these transgender, these hermaphrodites, these androgynes were gods, their divinity. You know, the Emperor Commodus was alleged to have dyed his hair, sprinkled with gold dust, and dressed as a woman for combat and visits to the amphitheater. He was also said to have proudly inscribed his Colossus remodel. He remodeled himself as Hercules, with the epithet effeminatus. Effeminatus is effeminate, whereby now you are a man but you're behaving like a woman. You tend even to do things women do, cross-dressing, and even sometimes you are surgically reassigned, you're sexually. Likewise, a statue of Marcus Aurelius was refashioned with the body of a woman. These guys, the men are actually after the woman's body, and the woman is after a man's body. They have succeeded in Hollywood, but they're still hiding it. But we are getting better at identifying them. Such gender-bending imagery and the flouting gendered conceptions of the body, these guys were crazy. Even now, they're even crazier. May have demonstrated a likeness with or a devotion to the gods. Yeah, yeah, because even now they want to behave like gods. Indeed, the practices of eunuch priests of the goddess Cybele Galli were integrated into Rome state religion. Okay, in the initiation ritual, you guys don't forget this. They are doing even now this now, but not really like this. In the initiation, they may do this. They may do this by going to surgery. In the initiation ritual, a novice was obligated to shed his masculine attire, castrate himself. Imagine castrating yourself with a sword, and then run through town with genitals in hand, toss them into a house chosen at random, whose residents would be obligated to dress him in a female attire. This violent tradition conveyed religious devotion through the violation of sex and gender norms. You guys don't forget, this is actually what is happening. Nothing has changed so far. Okay, let's go on. Similarly, sect dichotomy occurred in Roman painting and sculptures of deities. Hermaphroditism, through pejorative in modern connotations, and not the same as intersexuality, found roots in religious idolatry. These guys, they believe they are gods, believe me. The gods Hermaphroditus and Aphrodite had both male and female anatomy and androgyny. Okay, these are the ones they are calling the non-binary. Hermaphroditus, as a result of being merged with a water nymph, while Aphroditus was a male Aphrodite. Indeed, in some depictions, Aphroditus had a beard, male genitalia, and wore women clothes. You understand that? The thing is that they look like a woman but still have male genitalia. Okay? Both his male and female followers cross-dressed. That's what's happening now. But now even they are going for gender reassignments. They're really lying. What you're seeing is a lie. Okay? This merging of hermaphroditism and spirituality was also sorry, was also domesticated, as hermaphroditic statues were featured prominently in areas like the garden of the Roman home. Such imagery was deployed as a means of constructively expressing sexual tension within a familiar setting. Weird about these people. I told you before. Do you see this guy who's called Dwayne Johnson? You guys should look at his breasts, man. They have a scar below. This guy is a woman. He was originally a woman. People like Jay-Z, people like this Angelina Jolie's husband. I don't know what his name is. These guys, man, most were women, but now they look like men. But do they have dicks? Maybe they do. Maybe it's very high possibility they do, but still retain. Do they have dick? No. If you look, they may be having pussies. Yeah. But they are women, like Angelina Jolie. They may look like women, but they have penises. So who gets? That's why you see these people. They are going to get kids from some other places to adopt, because some of their their functionality cannot work. Anyway, let's continue. However, individuals who were born outside of the binary social constructions of biological sex were shunned. The birth or discovery of hermaphrodites, presumably intersex individuals, meant death by fire or water. And so, an irony emerged. The intersect bodies of deities enhanced their transcendent mysticism and could be emulated. Who can emulate this? Only they are there who are emulating. Approximated by the non-binary gender identities and expressions of their devotees. Yet the birth of an intersex individuals acted as bad omens and easy scapegoats. These guys want to, I don't know what they'll do, but they want to have that binary thing. They are changing it, but I believe the others will be born, even if it's scientifically done. Sorry. They'll want to build, they want to make another kind of a third sex, which is called androgyny. I don't know if they'll interfere with technology, which I presumably think so. Anyway, the biological manifestation of a sex that blurred and belied the gender dichotomies of Roman society and social order was threatening. Okay? Ancient Roman transgressive gender performances remained circumscribed, reserved only for fiction and fantasy. You hear? For fiction and fantasy. That today is Hollywood. Spirituality. Spirituality is the Vatican and other whatever, these high profile religions like Buddhism and Islam, and the people who are in Islam, the top most people they know, but the lower people they don't know. They're just following blindly. Anyway, and then the state. The state is the politics. The politicians today are still, they have no, Satan does not joke. He has no class for those people. Everybody must follow what he says. If not, death and torture. So the politicians have to do it everywhere. I mean, everywhere. The presidents, the whatever, all of them have to do it. Like those people who are spiritually endowed up there, they still have to do it. They like it or not. Those people in Hollywood, entertainment and whatever, and newscasters, and they have to do it. There's no choice for them. It's sad that they sold themselves, so there's no way they can get out of it. When you sell yourself, you can't get out of it. Okay? And don't forget, these guys are witches, high-profile witches, all of them. Even the singers, even the actors, even the politicians, even the ones who are in the church or the religions, all of them are witches, high-profile. Anyway, it's my time. I hope you got something from me. Talk next time. Okay?